I should quit my primary job? Yeah, okay. About 16 years ago, I was working as a greeter at Olive Garden as a second job just to make ends meet. The day before Mother's Day, I was about 10 minutes late punching in to work. I was coming from my primary job, changed clothes when I got there and punched in. The manager immediately pulled me aside and said that I needed to be more courteous to my coworkers and show up on time as my being late affects other people. I responded that I was aware, and I did call in to let them know I would be late and that the person who answered was the person I was taking over for, and that she said to take my time because she was just going home and spending the night in alone. No big deal. The manager laid into me. She told me that I'm not the type of person that can hack having two jobs. That I was too inconsiderate to work two jobs. And that maybe I should choose which job I value more and quit the other one. And that if I quit the Olive Garden, that I would not be welcomed back. Initially, I thought, well, I'm not going to let you chase me away. But then I realized, this is a second job. I don't have to be here. I don't have to let her talk to me that way. I went home and told my S.O., who also worked there as a second job, what was said. We mutually decided that I should quit the Olive Garden. So I went in for my morning Mother's Day shift wearing my street clothes. Went to the back office to find the manager. And said, so, I put a lot of thought into what you said and have decided that you were right in working here. For you. Is not for me anymore. She looked stunned and said, well, you're going to work today. Right? You know Mother's Day is our busiest day of the year. You can't just up and quit. Today of all days. I said, well, maybe this will be a lesson for you on how to speak to your employees and how to be a decent human being. Besides, you said yourself I'm too inconsiderate to work here. And I walked out. Have not set foot in another Olive Garden since. Good on you. Employers who don't value their employees don't deserve to keep them. But how will you survive the rest of your life without free salad and breadsticks? Manager is dumb AF considering how dependent the restaurant industry is on. This is my second job. Labor. Good for you. I had 3 jobs. Primary was warehouse. Secondary was retail. Tertiary was an at-home office job with no schedule. My retail job kept scheduling me earlier than my availability allowed. 10 a.m. But they scheduled me for 6:45 a.m. I couldn't be there because I was working my warehouse job. Management kept telling me I should quit my warehouse job so I can work more hours at the retail job. I replied that I'd never do that because my warehouse job consistently gives me over 40 hours per week. Gives me affordable and good health and dental insurance. And pays me $8 more per hour. I'd be stupid to quit that job for a part-time retail job. Eventually I ended up quitting my retail job because they kept scheduling me too many hours. I would work 12 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. at the warehouse. Then my retail job scheduled me 10:30 to 7 p.m. I did that 3 times per week. I asked for less hours and they wouldn't give me that. I couldn't take it anymore, so one day before my shift, I called and I quit. They were shocked and told me I wouldn't be able to be rehired. They were acting like it was a big loss for me. It wasn't. I'm not quitting Olive Garden. I'm quitting you. Never welcomed back. Ha ha ha, as if that is some kind of deterrent. I love when managers say, you can't just X. Yes, actually, you can. I had the same kind of talk a long time ago. I was working a commission sales job where I made enough to cover rent and bills. And got a call for an interview from a GameStop I had applied to 6 months earlier. They offered me a part-time job while the assist manager was finishing school, 2 nights a week. I was like, hell yeah. Discount on games biatch. Since I already worked in sales. Meeting the quotas was so easy that I was literally giving away extras to other employees. You had to have so many GI sign-ups and pre-orders. It was minimum wage, but the discount allowed me to quickly expand my game console collection. I was still working there in October, and the manager was scheduling me for when I had to work my main job. I told her that it was outside my availability, and after a few missed shifts, she pulled me aside and gave me the, "You need to decide what's really important to you." Cue shocked Pikachu face when I handed her my badge, thanked her for the opportunity, and walked out. My favorite part is that you did it on Mother's Day. That's one of the worst days to be in the restaurant industry. Kudos to you for sticking it to her. Shit on the employee that is working there as a second job and see how well that turns out. These are the people that don't have to be there and will walk if you do anything that might threaten their primary job. That manager was dumb as a box of hair. Good on you. Now I'm curious how screwed she was since you left on one of the busiest days. Did she had to cover for you, or did she let everyone else work harder? You can't just up and quit, but isn't that what she was telling you to do? My husband worked at the Red Bullseye store during college. He was a part-time student, and was putting himself through school. He had worked up to a supervisory position and was asked to be assistant manager, but said no thank you because his first focus was his grades. His managers had been really good about working with his class schedule. Until a new manager started, he was told that he would have to make a choice. Either his job or school. Manager was shocked when my husband said, "Please consider this my 2-week notice." Kind of curious. How do people have 2 jobs if one or the other has a shifting schedule? Like, for instance, one week you have a day where the jobs overlap? I think shifting schedules happen in the service industry, e.g. restaurants and retail stores. But we're a family. It's even part of our slogan. Quote, "This is the way." Great example of how the words and actions of one bad apple can poison a person's impression of an entire company. Some managers are just so, hell, I don't even know if there is a word for it. Bad management found a good way to make sure the restaurant would be extra understaffed for Mother's Day. They played themselves lol. Whenever someone says, "to make ends meet," I imagine them cobbling together bits of meat. Their food sucks anyway.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.